Okay, so this little mini lesson would be appropriate for first graders. We're going to be using the place value chart, base 10 blocks, number lines, and we're going to be talking about regrouping and counting. So I have this word problem, and it starts off as Sally has 14 pieces of bubble gum. Bobby has 22 pieces of bubble gum. How many more pieces of bubble gum does Bobby have? So first we're going to start off by pulling out the important information that we need in order to solve this problem. So we know that Sally has 14 pieces, and we also know that Bobby has 22 pieces. We're wanting to know how many more pieces Bobby has. So when we hear that, how many more, we know that we're going to be using subtraction to find out how many more he has. So to start this problem, we're going to use base 10 blocks. And we're first going to be making the number 22. And we're only going to make 22, not 14 also, because you might be confused and want to try to add the two. We're just going to be making 22 and subtracting 14. So we could start off by just making 22 with the 1 units, because we know this equals 1. And start counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But we know that when we get to 10, we can regroup. And we can get one rod. And this has 10 units in it. And we know that by supertizing, we can automatically see that this has 10 in it. So instead of counting out the rest of 22, we can see that there's a 2 in the 10th place. And we automatically know that we need 2 rods that equals 10, 20. But then we see that we still need 2 ones. So we're going to have these units that represent 1. 1, 2. So now we can start subtracting. And we're subtracting 14 from 22. But we see that we can't take away 4 ones from these 2. So that means we're going to need to regroup using one of these rods. And we know that by supertizing again, there's 10 in this. So we're going to get 10 units. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So now we see that we can subtract 4 from the 12 that we have here now. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We can move those out of the way. And we're left with 8 ones. But we're not finished yet because we still see that there's a 1 in the 10th place that we also have to subtract. So we know that the 1 in the 10th place stands for 10. So we can subtract this 1 rod and move that out of the way. So that leaves us with 8 ones. So now we can look back at the word problem and know that Bobby has 8 more pieces of bubble gum than Sally has. So now we can also solve this problem by using a number line. So when we start off making a number line, we draw our line, and we need arrows on both ends to show that the numbers are never ending on both ends. And we're going to be starting with 0 and going up. So we're going to count out to 22 because that's how many pieces of bubble gum Bobby has. So we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So that's what we're going to stop at. And so we're going to start at 22. And we know that this is a subtraction problem, so that means we're going to be moving to the left. So we're going to take 14 small jumps back to see what number we land on, and that will represent how many more pieces of bubble gum he has. So we're starting at 22, and we're going to take 14 small jumps back. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And we see that we landed on number 8. So by Cornell, we know that this was 14 jumps back. And we landed on number 8. So once again, looking back at our word problem, we know that Bobby has 8 more pieces of bubble gum than Sally.